Hi, I'm Debbie, and I work as an instructional technology teacher on special assignment for Burbank Unified School District. I'm here today to share with you about how to get the most out of AI chatbots like Copilot and Gemini, which are the two that we have access to in Burbank Unified School District. There is a little bit of nuance about creating a prompt that will help you get a better outcome. And so I want to talk a little bit about that today. I'm going to share my screen so that we can see the slide deck. What we're going to start with is called the parts framework. And this is a framework that I found from Matt Miller of Ditch That Textbook. The reality is there are a bunch of different acronyms that are out there now that do a similar thing, but this one has resonated with me, and I've shared it with quite a few teachers in the district so far. So I wanted to put together a video to share it with you today. The important thing to remember is that you will get out of a chat the same sort of quality that you put into the prompt. So we have a AI generated image of the idea is garbage in, garbage out. If you just put a quick one line prompt, what you get out of the AI will likely be something that you're going to have to spend a lot of energy tweaking. So we want to do our best to create a solid prompt so we get closer to what we want in the outcome in the first place. There is a worksheet to go along with this presentation. If you have that worksheet, you can go ahead and pause as we go through the steps so that you can take time to draft your own prompt as we go along. I will give some examples for each of the letters of the framework, but it's going to be more helpful if you take the time to draft something based on what you are wanting to get out of the AI as you work with it today. So the P in parts stands for persona. And this is important to give the AI a specific role that you want it to take as it creates the output. So if you are creating a rubric or you're creating a differentiated lesson, it's important that the computer knows that you are an educator. Number one, it's important and helpful to put where you are an educator. You can notice in the example that I said for it to act as a veteran 10th grade teacher, specifically in California. When we tell the computer that we're in California, it will take the time to hone in the results on California state standards and any sort of frameworks that we really focus on and utilize in California. Because this example is about creating something that is for differentiated access for students, I specifically said that the veteran teacher has expertise in differentiated instruction, and specifically for this example, supporting English language learners in the general education setting. So giving the computer, the AI, whether it's Copilot or Gemini, information about who you want it to act as will help with the output that you're going to get out of it. So that is persona. Again, if you have the worksheet that goes along with it, go ahead and take a moment to pause, create your own persona. Tell the computer who you are or who you want it to be as it creates an output for you. The second letter of the framework is A for aim. We want to make sure that not only does the computer know who we want it to act as, but what are we trying to do? What's the objective? What's the goal? So what is our aim for what we are trying to create with this prompt as we work with it today? It's going to help the AI focus on generating information that achieves that specific goal that you're after. So an example here is to modify the science lesson to include tiered vocabulary definitions, a graphic organizer, and sentence frame. So we're asking it to do three things. We're giving it the aim. We're going to have it do three things specifically about a science lesson that we can add or attach to the prompt. The third part of the parts framework is the recipients. Now, this is important because as a high school teacher, what you're going to need on the outside is going to be different than, say, a third grade teacher or a honors chemistry teacher would need something different than a special education teacher working with students who have special learning needs. So telling the computer who the recipients are will allow it to give a more focused response and create something that will be more usable and help with what you're trying to do with your students. So let the computer know who your intended audience is for this output. It's going to tailor the language, the tone, and the content to help specifically for whoever it is you're trying to create something for. In this example, we're telling it that it's a diverse group of 11th grade social studies students and that it includes students in special education who require simplified language. But you don't want to lose the core content, right? So that is the example. The T is for theme or tone. We want to make sure that whatever comes out of this prompt sounds like you, sounds like something that you would create. What type of teacher are you? What type of communicator are you? And again, that will differ depending on who you're creating this for. If you're using this to create a prompt to help you draft an email to a parent, the tone is potentially going to be different than if you're using it to help you create a rubric for the students in your class for a project that you have coming up. So let the computer know what the style, tone, and what specific parameters you want for that response. The example shows that we should be supportive and clear, focus on using simplified language and scaffolded instructions to help students feel successful with the content. So, what tone do you want the output to be in? And it's going to depend a lot on who your audience is. That's why audience comes first in this example. And then finally, we have structure. So, what do you want it to actually create? Are you creating a rubric? If so, like the example, how many columns? What should the labels be for that rubric? Are you having it create an email? Are you having it create a worksheet? Or are you asking it to take an open-ended assessment with open-ended questions and turn it into multiple choice options with more simplified language? Or maybe you are asking it to create sentence frames for student responses. Whatever it is you want the computer to create for you based on this prompt, you need to give it those specific instructions so that what you get out of it is actually something that you can use. So that's it. That is the parts framework: persona, the aim, the recipients, the theme, and the structure. Those are the 5 components. Hopefully you paused the video along the way and you now have each of the parts written on your worksheet. And then you can take that, put it right into Copilot or into Gemini. Make sure you've signed into your district account before you do it so that you get the enterprise protections, and then see what it is that you get out with the output. The other thing that I want to encourage you and help you to remember is that even though we're spending time to develop a really great prompt so that what we get out the first time is a little bit better than if we just asked a one-line sentence, it is still entirely possible for you to hone and improve what the computer creates. Working with an AI should be like a back and forth conversation. So if what you get the first time isn't exactly what you want, you don't have to start over from scratch. Within that same chat, just tell it what it did wrong. Tell it what you'd like it to do different. Perhaps it created multiple choice questions with 4 answer choices, and you would like it to remove one of the distractors. Just tell it. It will recreate the whole thing with only 3 answer choices instead. The interaction that you have with either Copilot or Gemini should feel like a conversation, and it is something that you can do a back and forth in order to get an even better result. I hope that helps, and I hope that no more garbage in and garbage out. I hope what you get out of your chatbot becomes even more helpful and saves you more time so you have more time to spend with the students in your classes. Thank you so much. If you have further questions or you'd like some additional support, please email me, or you can use my booking link to book an appointment with me. We can do a video chat, or I can come out to your classroom to help you get the most out of using the AI tools that we have available to us.